Hey guys!
Hi everybody!
How are we all? Just saw, I have to say I've got a huge soft spot for Prince Charles.
So have I.
Huge soft spot for Prince Charles. Nanny Thelma, my nan, couldn't stand him. But I think that's because she was idolatory of Princess Diana. But I like him. For me, he manifests what royalty, British heritage is and all that kind of stuff. He's you know, he's not rarefied, he's plugged into the planet. I don't know, I like him.
Yes, we did do the 2-minute silence. Luckily, I was just gone on to a live at about 5 to 11 on Instagram.
Bloody hell.
And somebody reminded us. Yeah. I didn't even know it was Friday. I'm finding it so hard to remember the days at the minute. I'm always in the wrong day. Is anybody else having that?
I was getting really tearful.
So thank God. And then we just stood and it was beautiful. And Prince Charles, and did you see Camilla was kind of...
Yeah, well,
Camilla was welling up.
I thought that he looked a bit teary-eyed. But he was thinking about Mountbatten and all that. Yeah, I always think of my nan.
Mountbatten was like his dad, wasn't
he? Yeah, I always think of my nan on VE Day. You know, she did all her bits and bobs. Where was she based? What did she do? She was part of the...
She was part of the...
Bletchley Park,
Bletchley Park. With the, you know, the whole numbers
all that
thing.
stuff with Turing and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And of course the Spitfires flying over, because my granddad wanted to be a Spitfire pilot, was training for it, but then discovered he had an issue, something heart related, but behind an eye, that meant he couldn't do it. So anyway, yeah. So your Gramps was in Burma, Leggy Blonde. Let's pull up the proper thing here. Wait. Here we go. Day to feel proud and optimistic. Helen H, I would say so. Yeah, I do. I tell you what my slight concern about today is. I don't want the government to hijack a historic event by using it, and you know, you could argue that they're not doing this, but by using it as a way to sort of fan the flames away from their own incompetence, and I do genuinely believe a lack of leadership or coherence. So that's my concern with VE Day. We've been sent mixed signals all week that we were going to be given all sorts of news this coming Sunday. They've immediately kind of backpedaled like mad. I believe the right thing to do is to stay in lockdown, but you don't manage a population's morale by making them think that something else is going to happen.
Because what I didn't realise is, because I was saying to Mark last night, but to be fair to the government, they haven't actually said they were going to change anything. It's just been in the press, but as Mark said, he goes, but they've leaked all that to the press.
Yeah. They've been manipulating the press all week.
And then apparently they were encouraging people to have VE parties in their home. You know, and I think, I can't help but think, what about all the people that are in care homes that served in the war that have been forgotten about, to be quite honest? I mean, it's I don't know, I feel a bit manipulated.
Yeah, well, do you remember I was saying earlier in the week that there was the suggestion that the government are doing poking the bear to see what news flow would sit and what, and I think what we've had confirmed this week is it hasn't sat nicely anything that they've been toying with, so they've retreated. So I mean,
it is necessary, Nicola Randall, absolutely. Lockdown is still necessary.
So I think brilliant, beautiful day, an important day, VE Day. Makes me think of all of my grandparents, well, my two grandparents, and it makes me think of all the people who worked in the war effort, and it on this special day as well. But I tell you something else that gets me about VE Day. It's victory in Europe. And I can't imagine how many people feel about victory in Europe when Europe came together as a unified whole, you know, to beat the Germans. Admittedly, you know, many countries weren't able to do as much as we did, or the Americans helped us. And now we are so actively wanting to sit outside of Europe. Wars. And we are so actively outside of Europe now. And so many people are happy about that. I've always found it hugely contradictory, the whole attitude to the war, that we were freeing ourselves from fascism, right-wing, you know, thought, racism, and yet, ironically, we seem to be becoming a sort of smaller-minded nation. It really does my head in. It doesn't stack up, but for the nostalgic and importance of all of the older members of society. Of course, on VE Day, the vast majority of people who were fighting in the war, who were still alive, are probably in care homes. And are probably the most vulnerable in the current crisis.
I think that's what we need to be thinking about this VE Day.
So I think it's a lot of conflicting emotions around this, actually, for me today.
Yeah.
It was not for them, we would not be here today. You're absolutely right, Sue Wood. Alice cancelled Brexit. Just been watching your before and after AA meeting, Mark. I need a meeting. Emma, who said that? Emma, you need a meeting. Seriously, Emma McGregor. Go straight off this. Go now. Leave this. Leave us. go to Alcoholics Anonymous, where it says where to find a meeting, click on it, put in online, and don't put from now, put in online in the top gap, and then beneath it put today's day, and then just keep scrolling down and you'll find the details for a Zoom meeting. You obviously have to have the Zoom app on your phone. But
it's really easy to download the Zoom app. Just do it. Just do it now.
Just do it.
Just do it now.
Emily Greenfield, of course you can have a shout out.
And Cabbage Patch on Instagram just before the silence was saying to me that it was her first day of being sober today. So if you're on here too, yeah,
wow.
First day of the rest of your life.
Got asthma.
I'm just saying there that their granddad was on the boat.
I was on the last boat off the coast of Dunkirk.
Oh,
wow, Tracy
such a
Lindsay.
hero.
My nan, Nanny Thelma's brother, Uncle Ron, was on one of the many boats. I don't know if it was the first or last, but he got shot through his leg by a German airplane. It was, and he for the rest of his life he had a
survived
fake,
it.
yeah, he had a dead leg, fake leg, I think.
Can you believe it? He survived
But he had to take
it.
drugs all his life because, of course, the bullet. He would always tell me this when I was about 6, when we used to go to Blackpool, where he lived. And
Did he like telling you this story?
Oh, he loved it, and he had this beautiful old car, and he'd drive us down the coast, and he was really nice. I really liked him, and he said the bullet was about that big. It's shattered, isn't it? Imagine that.
And my mum's dad was in fighter planes. He used to drop the bombs off the back.
He was a bomber, wasn't he?
Yeah.
That was, and it was quite a physical thing.
I remember as a really small child saying to him, "But did you ever feel bad about the people that you were dropping the bombs on, Grandad?" And he went, "No."
Well, because of course
he just went, No,
No,
they were the enemy. They were going to drop bombs on us.
But of course, the other thing is, in that war, you think to yourself, "Was that kind of callous and not human?" But actually,
No,
you're just rolling things off a thing. You're not even thinking about it.
Your country, your family,
Nanny Di
just...
here, sobbing as usual.
Oh,
Mum. I know. Thoughts are with Nanny Di, Grandad Gordon. I know.
Nanny Thelma.
Sorry, Nanny Thelma. Oh my God, brain's a mess. Nanny Thelma. I know, Mum.
Oh, Emma McDonald. My dad's 75th today. He was born the day the war ended. Oh,
wow.
People were dancing in the street.
He's a VE baby. That's great. He's a VE baby. Oh. Yeah, it's a very, and again, taking those...
Yes, I can shout your dad out. I've seen that go up a couple of times. Xavier Tans, Paul Tainsley, a.k.a. DJ Tans.
There you go, DJ
Hello to your
Tans.
dad.
Apparently, have you seen, I noticed on the news flow today that Captain Tom has been offered £1 million worth of nightclub PA appearances when the lockdown comes out.
You're kidding.
Unfortunately, I think nightclubs are going to be one of the last things to reopen. But
oh my God.
I think he may well, when Glastonbury opens, and he's with us, hopefully, fingers crossed, he'll be on stage dancing, I think.
My mum, of course, spent every night of her...
She was in an Anderton shelter, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was in a shelter on her own because her mum didn't like to go in the shelter. My mum still sleeps like this. She has her hands like that, curled around her duvet and over her head, just like she did when she was a child, terrified of the bombs. Because she tells a story about how when she woke up one morning, they woke up and the house opposite had been decimated, just gone from a bomb. Isn't that horrendous?
Yeah, terrible.
And then was it your nan or my mum that talked about, I can't remember whose story this was.
My nan.
About the bomb it was your nan. Yeah,
my nan had, what were the
bombs
doodlebugs?
The doodlebugs, which apparently were just so petrifying.
When they were introduced into the war, everyone was absolutely shitting themselves.
Because you'd hear them come and then they would be silent.
Well, Hitler had designed them to have this high-pitched squealing sound.
Right.
And they, exactly, then the noise...
Maddie?
Yeah. The noise would cut out. And like Nanny Thelma said, she said, when you knew the noise had cut out, you'd sit there. And she said, I held my Geordie and it destroyed a house on the opposite side of the street.
Oh, Marion Patterson. My dad had lots of stories about fighting in the war. I wish I'd listened more. That's such a lovely share because I think we can all think that. Mind you, I can immediately think of my dad. My granddad told me the stories lots and lots and lots and lots of times. He loved the war. Nanny Thelma loved the war. Nanny Thelma used to say, I'm ashamed to say it, but it was the happiest time of my life. She did, didn't she? The camaraderie, the nightly dances with the GIs, the sense of purpose, the friendships, the intense friendship, the feeling like your life had purpose. She absolutely loved her time. And that makes me sad thinking about her, actually. She absolutely, because she used to tell her stories over and over again. Sorry, Nanny Di, if you're watching, but she used to tell her stories over and over. And I love hearing stories from the elderly about their time in the war.
I loved Nanny Thelma's totally manufactured story of Grandad Gordon wearing shorts in India. He never went.
That came later on.
That came very
we
late.
don't know where that story came
when
from.
When I cross-examined her on this, she did have the grace to sit there and look out the window going, did he? I never remember your granddad wearing shorts. I was like, because he didn't.
Sorry, I'm not being rude. I just got a text from my friend. Because don't forget, it's aerobics at 11:30 on Dance Your Tits Off Instagram.
Maddie, Carla Hatcham has just said, you must be so proud of her. Her writing is full of maturity and passion.
About Maddie, we really are proud of her.
Kelly Masters, thanks Nadia for the follow tip last night. My parents were alcoholics. Mum died at 52. Dad's still drinking, but I keep my distance for the sake of my mental health.
Well, then that's what you have to do. And did you check out that?
Yeah, I think she followed
Instagram?
your links. Yeah,
oh, good. And think about going to an adult children of alcoholics Zoom meeting. I mean, you know, it might be really enlightening for you.
Isabella Mia, it's my birthday and I cry. Happy birthday, Isabella. And thank you for posting the smoking video. Really helped your mum.
Oh, so it was you, Isabella.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. Oh, well, good luck.
Yeah.
Come on, Isabella's mum. You can do it. We did it.
Alison
it
Bennett,
was really hard,
it's my daughter's.
I'm so glad we did.
It's my daughter's Rosie's 25th birthday today. I was in hospital for the last lot of street parties. Shout out, please. Shout out, Alison Bennett.
Happy birthday to you,
Rosie.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Rosie. You forgot to sing happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
You forgot how to sing.
We never are in sync. We don't even know what we're singing. Maggie say, my great-granddad wrote a book about the war before he died for me and my sister. It's really amazing. It is great. I've actually toyed with, I think I mentioned this yesterday, I've decided that today I'm going to write 100 words every day about this COVID crisis from here on in.
I think we should get the girls to maybe not 100 words.
Yeah, but admittedly we're 6 weeks in, but maybe it took that time, 7 weeks in, to took that time to really even get focused on that. But I'm just going to do that and just...
But in a way,
we've been
kind of doing it here, haven't we? With people
we have
every
a bit.
day. We've been doing like a video of it, really. We haven't been cataloguing. I mean, we've done it every single day since lockdown. We haven't missed a single
No, I mean, it's
live.
a kind of video diary.
We've done a video diary.
Not just ourselves, but
also you.
Because, you know, when we keep these lives up on the channel, which we like to, once that they've processed and they've stayed up, you can go back and read all of your comments live, you know, as live. You know, so they're all there.
Yeah. So we've done a really good... I'm just getting ready for my 80s.
But can I, on a more serious note, so VE Day, brilliant. I've talked about the cynicism I have with the government. It's Bank Holiday Friday. But also at the back of all of this is a slight concern about people letting down their guard a bit today. In many situations with the kind of all the right sort of intentions behind it, you know, wanting to, you know, socially distance from their families, be in their gardens and all that. But I do think it's a day we all have to be particularly careful. Yeah. I've got that horrible feeling that in this country, the word bank holiday, understandably, because we all work so hard, is a green light just to go and rush off and do all sorts of things. I mean, we know all the stories of traffic on the roads and all that kind of stuff. So I just get slightly worried that when we celebrate a bank holiday too much, everyone forgets.
It's when people start to drink and then people get too relaxed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was trying to think how I would have coped with this as an alcoholic. And I mean, you know, not being able to go to a pub, being able to buy your drinks, but only being able to go out a certain amount of times. Really
it's a hot
quite
weekend.
horrific.
What are people going to do
really
that haven't got a garden? You know, they're going to go to the parks and they're going to... It is a worrying time this weekend.
It is.
It is, because we don't want to get another bloody spike.
Well, and also we won't know if we've got another spike from this weekend for another 2 weeks. It keeps kind of always pushing things down the road, doesn't it? But, well...
Morning, sorry to go back to last night's topic, but can I just ask, if one of your children chose not to drink, would you think they were boring and not normal? And Stacey, you are the person that said that your parents have accused you of being boring because you don't drink. I think that's outrageous. I think that's outrageous.
If any of my children chose not to drink, I would secretly,
I
wouldn't go on about it, but I'd secretly be blessedly relieved.
Yeah. Anyone that calls you boring has to check themselves. That's what I would say. I mean, I'm coming off the fence on
in my AA meeting the other day, they read What Bill Sees, which is a small book about what the founder of AA thinks. And the whole meeting was about personality change and about the way in which alcohol changes your personality. You know, and the perception that alcohol makes you confident, feel fortified. I said this in my mental health chat, all that kind of stuff.
One drink does, but whoever sticks to
one
drink.
one of the biggest cons with alcohol is the idea that if you stop drinking, you'll become uninteresting. Let me tell you this for a fact. There's nothing more boring than an alcoholic or someone who's drunk.
Or even somebody not an alcoholic, just
than someone
drunk.
who's drunk. I didn't mean an alcoholic, actually.
Yeah.
There's nothing more boring than someone who's drunk going on and on and on and on about the same shit repeatedly. Promise you. Nothing more boring. So don't...
Well, Stacey, you're amazing. You are amazing.
Yeah, so don't let that criticism or comment
And if you were
affect
our
you.
daughter, we'd be enormously proud of you. There you go. Hi, Zagtan. Welcome to the family guest.
Love
Guys,
your name.
I've got to go in a minute because I'm going to click on to my friend's live, Dance Your Tits Off, my lovely friend Kaz. Who
So
I
you
met
are
in
going to dance
Adderleys.
your tits off?
And we're going to dance our tits off to 80s aerobics music for 20 minutes.
Okay.
So we do it as a split screen.
My stomach.
So if you would like to join us, please do. It's at Dance Your Tits Off. Also, if you haven't seen Maddie's song yet, go over to her YouTube channel, Maddie Adderley, and have a listen. And if you like it, hit the like button.
Can I just say, Caroline Graham's just mentioned the gangster gardener, Roy Finley. I was talking to Roy Finley 2 years ago about doing a film with
See
him.
you soon.
And unfortunately, we couldn't make it work. I thought he could help
Yeah,
with renovating inner city deprived areas in London through gardening, but we couldn't make the logistics work of him coming over. But yeah, I haven't had a coffee, and I need to go and get a coffee too. So, but here's the thing. Tomorrow night, something different's happening on the channel, which we're going to be posting about on our Instagram channels today. But we're doing a fundraising watch along with Lionsgate Films, who are the exhibitors and distributors and producers of many films, and we are watching Eddie the Eagle from 6 p.m. on the Lionsgate YouTube account, which they're streaming for free for everyone to watch. So we'd like you to join us tomorrow night for 6. Pardon?
We're raising money.
Yeah, I've just said, we're raising money for the NHS. We'd like you to join us at 6. It's being hosted itself by, I think, Keith Lemon. There's going to be quizzes in between. We're going to be watching, like Gogglebox style, watching with you. So we're going to be watching over there with a camera on us. So we'd love all our subs to come along and join us. But we'll be posting the details on Instagram, and we'll be giving you more details on the community page here too. So Eddie the Eagle this weekend. And I think the weekend after next, we're going to be doing the same thing with the Hunger Games. So it could be cool. I might try and fashion some kind of skis out of some wooden planks or something. And are you cooking today, Nadia? That's a good question. She just disappeared into the toilet. I'll go and check with her, given that it's VE Day and all of that. Let me check. Anyway, so I'm off. So I'm going to go get coffee. Lots of love, guys, and happy VE Day. For God's sake, stay safe. Stay safe.